How can I not be so stupid and keep my husband? I want to keep him happy. And I think all the women listening to, they want to know the secrets to a good relationship.
I'll tell you the secrets.
Yeah, I'm writing them down. I'm taking notes.
I don't think most women understand what men are looking for in general from life. I think, and when I say think, I mean I know, that men are biologically designed, we're evolutionarily hardwired to seek status. That's what we want. Men talk about wanting money. You don't want money, you want power. Car, you don't care about the car. You want everyone to know you have the car and they can't have the car. Right. If everyone had a Lambo, you wouldn't want a Lambo.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we want status. So every single thing we do is status driven to some degree.
It's true.
Meaning the female we are with has to add status to our lives in some form. That's why we like beautiful women, right?
Right.
But a beautiful woman who doesn't behave and doesn't obey isn't really much status.
Yep.
So when we're looking for status, we want a beautiful woman who is compliant because it's unique and it's scarcity that provides value. Right. So if you want to keep your man happy, you need to think, how do I make my man look better to the world? How do I make him look better in front of other men? You know what? If I were to just make him 2 coffees and shut the fuck up, he's going to look like the big G. And he's going to be in love with me. That's what you have to do as a woman.
Well, let me just stop you real quick and say something. You got a lot of work to do.
Me?
Yeah.
I brought you 2 coffees this morning because you were coming in, and I said, Tommy, here's your 2 coffees. I did.
I'm just saying, he made a lot of sense. And just,
what are you fucking?
I'm just saying, keep taking notes. Don't even talk to me. Keep taking notes.
So give me some examples of how I can increase my status, therefore increasing his status. You mentioned the 2 coffees. Now, why do you request that? Let's go through the logic of that.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Because it's a basic respect thing, right? And compliance is something which is going to increase the status of your man in front of other people.
Right.
And truthfully, it's not really a very big ask. The fact that it's basically pointless, it's just a respect thing. It's doing something which is basically pointless to show you have respect for me. And that's not me being insecure or crazy or whatever. I have a lot of jobs as a man, and I make sure I fulfill my side of the duty fantastically. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I'm going to take care of us financially, etc., etc. So if I do my side of the bargain, I want your side of the bargain, which is I want to feel respected in the household.
Okay. So that's cooking meals, I'm assuming.
Well, truthfully, I eat out most of the time.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens now?
What?
My life, I'm flying on private jets. I'm eating in all these restaurants. I'm driving all these supercars. And it's very hard for me to find a way for women to show me respect. Because they're just like on the jet, duh. I go to the restaurant, duh. They're in the club, duh.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean?
So how can she add, and also too, I worry if I'm too submissive, will he not respect me?
Nah, no. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Get rid of that stupid shit.
Won't respect me crap. That's not real. That's it. It's nice and easy. There's no such thing as too submissive. There's no such thing. I'm never going to look at a beautiful woman who does everything I say and go, you know what? You do too much of what I say. I want to go get some disagreeable bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
On one planet.
But Cobra, let me tell you what you're saying. If there's truth to it, and judging by my husband's reaction,
I feel the same way right now. I feel like
I love to hear that, friend.
Absolutely.
I love to hear that. Thank you.
It's really good to have you here.
But I mean everything I say.
That's what I love about you, is that you really are just not afraid to say.
The truth is, you know what's crazy about all of this? Because when people attack my views, what they don't understand is that the relationships I'm describing are not just perfect for the man. Women are absolutely happy serving a man they respect. Women are absolutely happy saying, you know what? I know I have the best man on the planet, and I know I make him happy. Women are happy with that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're far more happy with that than they are working some fucking career. Go up, have kids, sit at home, be quiet, make coffee.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody happier in the long run. It's good for everyone. I don't know how this is even controversial anymore.
Right, but Cobra, might I interject that if women were truly happy doing that for so long, maybe this whole women's lib thing, how did that come about?
That's a psyop from the New World Order. They're deliberately trying to turn women against men. They have to divide the peasants. That's the only way the elites can retain control. They turn the blacks against the whites, the Democrats against the Republicans, the women against the men. It's all a psyop, and they do it purposefully. Listen, a revolution is nothing more than men standing in one place and saying this shit has to change. The reason there's no revolution, despite the absolute tyranny we experience here in the Western world, is because most men aren't allowed out the house because their wife will get mad at them. You have to be home at 10 o'clock. Come home. Yeah. You're not allowed out.
Well, what about the kids? Should he be home?
Sure, you should be home for your kids. But my point is, you're not going to feel like a king or feel brave enough to go and rebel against the New World Order if you don't even feel in charge of your own house. If you're not a king in your own house, then how are you a king anywhere else, right? And the law is set up in a way in the Western world.
Like that.
The law is set up in the way in the Western world where men have absolutely zero power. Most men are clinically depressed, working jobs they hate, in sexless marriages, and they know they can't leave because they lose the house and they lose the kids and they lose everything else. So they don't have time to be concerned with anything that's actually happening in the world. They keep us divided and distracted. And empowering females is the easiest way to weaken the will of men. What happened when when the Romans conquered the Greeks? The first thing they did was kill all the fighting age males. And we live in a world now where they're deliberately killing the fighting age males. They're killing the spirit, the warrior spirit inside of men. And they're doing that by motivating females and empowering them to the point where they're going to sit there and go, you know what? I'm a feminist. You can't tell me what to do. I'm allowed to go out with my friends. He's just my friend. I'm allowed to sleep at his house and drink vodka. What's the problem? You know what? Fine, we get a divorce. I'm taking the fucking house.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you feel about women serving in the military? Stuff like that.
I think that's the biggest mistake a female could possibly make. Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah. me too.
One, you're shit at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's out here who's actually been through something, as I have, knows that when the fight goes down, you need the women protected in a way. You don't need the screaming in your ear, right? So they're shit at it. That's the first thing. And the second thing, it's part of the psyop. They're masculine. In the Western world, they are trying to turn females masculine. It's not an accident. None of this is an accident. All of this is done very, very purposefully. And it's to destroy the will of man. They're just sucking men down the pit.
Do you ever worry that a woman
Wow.
just is with you for the wrong reasons, and therefore, do you ever hide how successful you are? You know what I mean? Like just to see like what happens when like the Lambo's in the garage.
That's a good question, and I think you have to look at it under a different frame.
Okay.
If I decide to buy her a present for her birthday, it's my prerogative.
Right.
I'm not stupid. I'm not a punk. But I think that this whole idea of shallow is kind of hard to define, right? Some go, they're only with you because you're rich and tall and gorgeous. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What else are they going to be with me for? Like,
Right,
duh.
right.
I'm only with her because she's gorgeous too.
Yeah.
So-
Like, it's normal. That's human nature.
So hold on though. Have you had a serious relationship?
I have many concurrent serious relationships
Oh, wow.
as we speak.
Are you-
Men are allowed multiple women. Women are not allowed multiple men, because if a woman has multiple men, you cannot ensure paternity. And the modern science of the devil, just because we can work out how the dad is, doesn't mean the actions are acceptable.
That's true.
Under the will of God. I can walk and have 10 wives behind me. That's
Sure.
perfectly acceptable.
So hold
if
on.
a woman has 10 men, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely vile.
Man.
Sounds like Sharia law is your. Wait, so do you ever, is there ever like a tender?
Completely.
If I, with a lady alone, is there ever a toned down version of this guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not that I'm some psycho and I don't believe that men and women should be in love. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I should be allowed to have a bunch of chicks and do whatever I want, and she should obey. And if she will do that, then I absolutely will love her. Why wouldn't I? Right? Love is a real thing, and love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I really do believe that if any man, this is a red pill most people don't want to accept, but if you were to get any man on the planet and say to him, you have a wife and she loves you and she's going to remain loyal to you and you can still fuck around with other women,
Wow.
do you want that, yes or no? If any man's honest, he's going to say yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.